everybody like in America, pharmacy, they didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
The movie theater's gone. Sticky Charlie's long gone. God knows where Sticky Charlie is,
Oh, God.
And I was already starting to get that attitude from 148th Street. I was running it down, and I looked at them straight in the face, and I go, fuck her. With a little bit of volume to it. It was like April, and I go, fuck, coming from my lip. And once I tasted that blood,
Bruce Lee.
Like Bruce Lee.
Oh, shit. The Cuban connection.
I looked at her, and I said, I'm going to go for this bitch. Now, I was pretty proficient in karate.
And you're a fifth grade?
Fifth grade, I was a purple belt in karate at Laranjo, whatever's father's school, Mr. Black on 98th Street. I was great with kicks. I had really good kicks. My hands were kind of weak, but I was a pussy. I was scared to fight. I was scared to get hit, but I was getting the hang of it. And I said, today, this is not going to happen. And in the middle of her smacking me, I just grabbed her. And I'll never forget, it was like metal shelves that had notebooks on it and like all school utensils. And I pushed her with her back in the middle of one of the things that was sticking out. So when I pushed her, I hit her hard. And she like, and she goes, what are you doing? And I go, you're not going to hit me today. Not today. And I think I smacked her or whatever once or twice. I was crazy. And then she went to push me, but she fell into a fucking a headlock. So this bitch had me by 50 pounds, 60 pounds, maybe 100 pounds. She was a big fat bitch. And I had her by the fucking head, and I knew that I couldn't let go. I knew that either if I let go, I had to run for that door.
Hell yeah, man. You're
So I'm holding on to her, and she can't get out of this
everything
headlock.
right there.
And I'm squeezing her. I don't have it under the chin I had.
Like
it was a Khabib. I knew nothing about. I knew nothing about choking people or nothing. I just knew about fear, what it was to be a scared little boy. And I just grabbed her. My adrenaline must have been pumping because she kept saying, "You're gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me." And I'm like, fuck it, you're dying today. I'm like, I didn't give a fuck. And I kept squeezing. And then I turned her around, and she fucking kept in the headlock. She could not. I don't know how I had her. I was holding on to a fucking thing. By this point, her veil had come off.
And shit's all over.
Everything came off. My heart's pumping. My heart was fucking beating to death.
Yeah.
And I got to open the door, and the kids were exiting the class. So now they're looking at this. They just like, oh, and I'm grabbing. I'm like, get help. Get the fucking Rubero brothers. We got to go to work here. I'm running out of time. You know what I'm saying? The ship is fucking sinking. And I knew that I had her. I knew I was just going to run out of there and keep running. That was my plan, to just run out of there and keep running, get to a payphone, call my mother at the bar in Union City, which is about 20 minutes away. That was the plan. That was the fucking plan, to run out of there, guys. I swear to God. And as I came out, these are New York City kids. This ain't fucking California people. This ain't kids. These are fucking suburb-raised kids that are crazy. So what do they start doing? They start clapping. Go, 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 go. Now I gotta kill her. Now I gotta kill her. I can't pussy out in front of these guys. I'm representing 148th Street. And I'm representing Union City. I'm representing 88th Street. How am I going to pussy out? They're yelling, go, 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 go. I'm choking her to death. And she's like, let me go. Let me go. And now other kids start jumping in. Thank God for Puerto Ricans. Thank God for Puerto Ricans and Italian kids. Because those are the only two that... And we all raised our hands. She's like, I know what you guys said last night. And so she put a poster in front of the hole in the desk. So you couldn't see inside the snatch no more.
You guys ruined it.
So Catholic school was great. I made friends with a bunch of kids, a couple mafia kids. I always kept it together and walked back and had like a straight Ted Bundy look on my face. Like, I'm not going to get you today, but I'm going to get you fat bitch. The main one being Sister Hyacinth. Sister Hyacinth, she'd sick the dog on you. and the dog would grab your pants and go, and then he would hit you with the stick at the same time. So I told Jack, you ever touch me, I'll fucking have my stepfather here in like 3 weeks to knock the fuck out of you.
3 weeks?
He'll fucking knock
you. You got 21 days.
You got like 21 days, and he'll knock the fuck. So I pretty much, I told Jack like my 3rd week in that school, if he, like already in the 3rd grade, like I was that hip. I go, you touch me with that fucking pointer, and my stepfather will be here in an hour to fucking put a bullet in your head. Just damn, the glasses broke in the bridge, and they cut him under here. I don't think he got stitches or anything, but there was visible blood. I mean, that's the type of parents were completely different animals than what we have today. Well, he can't have peanut butter. In the 70s, you ate it, whether you fucking choked or not. You know these little faggy kids, I can't eat shrimp because my fucking throat closes. Kids were dying all the time when I was a kid because parents didn't give a fuck.
There's a full-on assault on peanuts, in the school system. I just talked about. I said in Baltimore to everybody in there. I go, did we just not know? Like, of all you people who were in your 30s and 40s, did any of you have a peanut allergy? Like, I don't ever remember any school I ever went, and they're all like, no, it's all a newer thing.
This is all new things. So
I'm like, were kids dying?
I don't eat shrimp because my throat opens up. Let me tell you something. If your dad was a bus driver, and he drove up and down Broadway for a living, and he bought shrimp, and you told your dad you didn't like shrimp because your throat was closed and you can't breathe, looks like you're dying. You're dying. Yeah. You're going to eat a shrimp and die. They didn't give a fuck.
Gonna kill you.
There was no allergies. Like, there was no allergies. There was no allergies. This is a new fucking thing. So, I mean, it was just a weird Italian kid, brown curly hair, short, compact. Rogan, when he was 10 with hair, and he's fucking fighting like a cage. I'm 90, I can't die. Just walking those hills when I was a kid, man. And they were like this. North Bergen, New Jersey is like this.
On the whole family,
he's like Burt Reynolds in the beginning of The Longest Yard. He's smacking this fat bitch. Bah, bah. And I forget what her name was, whatever. And now the father comes running. Like, you just see a man coming. Now, I'm watching this from 25 feet, ladies and gentlemen. This is day one, North Bergen, New Jersey. Now I see the father, or a man. Let's just say I see a man run into the picture. And he's like, what's going on here? Break it up. But when he breaks it up, I realize he's the kid that's getting beat up's father.
Oh, okay.
So he takes the Italian kid, throws him off, and pushes him.
Oh, he's the Italian kid's dad.
No, the Irish kid's dad.
Oh, the Irish kid's dad.
Robson. Okay. He was Mr. Robson.
Family dad.
So he's like, what the fuck's going on here? You get on your own fucking block. And Anthony's like, fuck you. His name was Anthony. I didn't know this at the time. The kid's like, fuck you. And I'm like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ. He's like,
I'm home.
He's like, fuck you, motherfucker. You got something to say? And this is a young kid. I'm maybe 11. And he's my age. And he's telling an adult to go fuck himself and fuck your mother. And the kid comes over, the man comes over and pushes him. And now from that distance, I fucking shoot the gap. I'm fucking 148th Street. I gotta represent here. I gotta let these motherfuckers know you can't hit a kid.
Yeah.
So I jump in. And now all these neighborhood kids are watching me.
Like, who the fuck is this?
And they're like, who the fuck is this guy? But what I forgot to tell you, my mom had dressed me in white that day. With like a gold chain and like white sneakers. So everybody knew I was Spanish. Like, when you dressed in white, you were a Spanish kid. So I come up and I go, hey man, don't fucking play. He's like, who the fuck are you? And the kid looks at me that I stick up for, and he's got his own friends, and none of them jumped in because they're scared because he's a fucking man. And I'm like, fuck you, man. You can't be fucking touching him, whatever. And the Italian kid looks at me, and all of a sudden he goes, you know what? Fuck you, to the father. And he goes, I'm calling my fucking father. And the guy's like, call your fucking father, you guinea motherfucker, whatever. And all of a sudden the kid went into a house. I'm sitting there with the kid. There's no introduction.
Yeah, this is
Nobody says, hello, my name is Joe. Hi, my name is Mike. I don't eat peanuts. There's none of that shit. These kids are just like standing around like looking at me. But the kid that said he was going to call his father, the Italian kid, goes in this other kid's house who later on turned out to be Anthony Sabatino, dear friends with. And he comes out and he goes, wait 5 minutes. By this time, the family had gone into the house. He wasn't even out of the house. And 2 cop cars rolled up. An unmarked car and a marked car. The unmarked car guy got out, and the cop got out. The uniform guy got out, and the detective came up. And the detective walks up to the kid, and he goes, "What's the problem?" And he goes, "The guy." I'm watching this from like 8 feet. Like I could hear the conversation. He's like, "That guy up there put his hands on me, whatever." And that's all I heard. I can be honest with you. That's all I heard. The fucking detective looks at the kid, and he goes, "Okay." He walks up the stairs. Now, all these are houses in front of us, but in the corner was like an apartment building. Not really, like 2 levels. Mm-hmm. And like 4 apartments on each floor.
Little duplex.
And you could access them from the outside on stairs. So I see this cop with a walkie-talkie run up the first level of stairs, run up the second level of stairs. He gets in front of a house, and he knocks on the door. We're all there just watching it. Now, the cop that's in the police uniform is also standing there. And all of a sudden, the guy opens the door. Mr. Robson, Carmine Balzano takes his hand, grabs the guy, pulls him out into the thing, and starts beating him with the walkie-talkie.
Right in the stairwell?
Right in the stairwell, 22 witnesses, and a police officer. He's just beating him with the walkie-talkie, beating him. The guy drops to one knee and hangs onto the railing. Bad news. Carmine handcuffs him and finishes him off with his hands. And the kids are out, "Daddy, Daddy." And they're like, "Ah!" And the mother's out, like, "Stop it, stop it." And Carmine's hitting the fucking father. And us as kids are like, "Jesus Christ." Like blood's coming down the guy's head. And all of a sudden he's like, "You touch my fucking kid again, I'll fucking kill you." He takes the handcuff off. He walks down the stairs and he walks up to Anthony and he goes, "Let's go home," or whatever. But before he turns, man, it was the weirdest thing. He looked at me, this big fucking Italian guy that had big hands, and he had a big graduation ring from like Rutgers or some shit. He had hands like prosciuttos. And he looks at me and he goes to Anthony, "Who's this kid?" Now, I don't know nothing. I don't know names. And Anthony goes, "That's the new Spick kid, but he's the only one that fucking stuck up for me." So the guy goes, "Why don't you invite him over for dinner?" And I'm like...